If you've been keeping an extra close eye on my community tab over the past couple of weeks, you might just about remember this image. As you can tell from the background of it, it's actually shot in my line gecko enclosure, which is just to me right here. And yeah, it does mean that we've had another egg laying fiasco. So in today's video I'm going to be discussing this egg and all of the things that have happened as a result of it, which does include actually getting a brand new addition to the JTB crew, just to sort out things and get my breeding project kick-started. But before we do get into it, I would like to ask you to leave this video a like, drop us a comment so that I know what you think, and hit subscribe so that you never miss an upload. But apart from that, let's get into it. So if you've been keeping up with the channel, you'll remember that way back in April 2019, we did get the original pair of line geckos that I ultimately named Liana and Gordon. Now, you'll remember at this time that I bought them thinking that they were a male and female, Gordon obviously being the male and Liana being the female, and that my original intentions were to start a breeding project with them. I'd almost seen no small day geckos whatsoever before getting these actually in the flesh, and so I didn't really have any practice sexing them, but there were some differences between the two that made me think that the male-female judgment was correct. So Gordon was a lot more dominant than Liana, which is a trait usually displayed by males, and also Gordon displayed the brighter colours. A couple of videos ago, I did actually make a complete update video where Liana, who I had already thought was the female, laid an infertile clutch of eggs. One of them got smashed immediately, and the other one was eaten by Gordon. And in that video I talked about the fact that this was her first clutch, so it was probably infertile because she was just new to it and not for any other reason. And at the time I didn't really think that they were infertile because Gordon hadn't done anything with her, because I did still think that Gordon was a male at this point. Now fast forward a couple of months and you get to the second clutch. Now I say clutch, but it was actually just one egg as far as I could tell. I couldn't find the second one, but because it was on a bromeliad leaf, as you see in the image, I actually managed to cut the bromeliad leaf off and then put it in a little box with some damp sphagnum, with the intention being to incubate it, and then when a hatchling popped out 60 days later, I could move it on to a different setup with ease rather than try and catch it in the main adult's enclosure. However, it didn't all go to plan, because when I put pictures up of it on forums and things, which I've got loads of links to down in the description if you want to learn more stuff about reptiles, but when I put pictures up of it, people were saying that's quite yellow, that looks infertile, and needless to say, a couple of days later it completely moulded over and it was not a good egg. And this is what really sort of got me thinking, because the first clutch being infertile, yeah, you sort of kind of expect that, but then the second clutch to be completely infertile as well, it seemed like something more was going on than just Liana being a newbie to laying eggs. And so I decided to seek a second opinion on whether the sexing of my two geckos was correct. And that is when I got the opinion from a large number of people that Gordon was not a male and was actually another female. Obviously I was not particularly thrilled to hear this, given that I'd paid £140 I think to get the two geckos, and there was supposed to be a male and a female, to then end up with two females and my breeding project just being completely cut off and ended was not a very good prospect. And so straight away I got onto Global Geckos, where I bought them from, and was asking them do you think these are both females? And they agreed, yeah, both female. Now, entirely to Global Gecko's credit, they owned up to their mistakes straight away and agreed to send me their own breeder male line day gecko to kickstart my breeding project at no extra cost to me. Now honestly, I couldn't be more happy about this, because I've had a couple of months of waiting around for things and thinking I had a breeding project going, and I didn't, which was not good. And then when I found out that they were both females, I had thoughts in my mind I was going to be stuck with two girls for ages, and I'd be trying to find a male of this species, which is not available very often, and it would have just been awful. But they sorted me out straight away, and I couldn't ask for any more than that, I suppose. But anyway, this is the exciting news because we do actually have the male line day gecko ready to be put into the enclosure right now, so let's go and get him. Okay then guys, this should be it. So let's get into unboxing it. Heat pack is still slightly warm. Here we go. Another tiny little box. That was the deal last time. Oh my god. So guys, I had no idea that this fella was going to be twice as big as my females. So if I just bring him over here, you can see that he is pretty sizable. Very sizable indeed. And I think that we need to go and put him in his setup. Open it away from myself so that he's inclined to go in the enclosure rather than on me, which would not be good. Go on, pal. You get out onto there. Oh, bugger. There we go. That's it. Now, I do already have 2 new names for the geckos, because obviously Gordon couldn't keep going on being called Gordon, because Gordon is a boy's name, and Gordon is a girl. So we had to change Gordon's name, and the new male line day gecko needed a name too. So Gordon is now going to be called Orchid, and the new male line day gecko is called Andro, which is the Malagasy word for day, which I thought was an appropriate name for a Madagascan day gecko. Now, as you can tell, Andro is like significantly larger than the 2 females. I was not really expecting there to be that much of a size difference. I was expecting the colour differences though, and it looks like Andro is going to completely outshine the girls when it comes to colours once he's fully settled in, because at the minute he is sort of afraid still and he's only putting his dull browns on, but I have seen him fired up a bit once or twice, and his tail turns like an electric blue colour and the red down his back is a deep maroon, so I can't wait until he's settled in and then I can show you him like fully coloured up. Liana and Orchid seem to have taken to him really well, to be honest. I haven't seen any aggression between Orchid and Liana for a good long time now, and they haven't shown any aggression towards Andro as far as I can see, or vice versa. So it seems like the trio are getting on really well with each other, but that is something I'm going to have to watch as time goes on. And Andrew, that's not his name. Andro, when we put him in the enclosure, seemed to get to work straight away, because I actually caught it on film that he started doing a little bit of a head shake where he twitched like that, and Liana was watching him and she gave him a tongue flick, which are all good signs that they are communicating with each other, that Andro is on top, which is what you want for the dominant male, and that Liana accepts him. So really, I'm hoping that things do kick off next year. Over the next couple of months, I am going to be reducing the lighting hours of these geckos to just 10 hours a day, so that I can cycle them and give the females a bit of a break over the winter from laying eggs and so on. And then in the spring, they should absolutely kickstart. Andro should get fully into action, and hopefully I will have some hatchlings available. Either way, we have a bit of a busy time with the line day geckos recently, but honestly, throughout all of it, I just absolutely love this species, because they are a little bit timid. Sometimes when you walk in, they'll just scarper, but for the most part, they are really bold. They're really incredibly colourful when they put on their full colours, and they do that often. Then they're awake in the day, so they give you something to watch. I mean, you can't handle them really, but they are just such an amazing species, and they deserve so much more notoriety than you get which is part of the reason why I wanted to keep them and share them with you guys online. Anyway though, that is virtually it from updates. I think the only thing that I haven't mentioned about them is that they do have a new heater. They used to have a Zoom Ed Nano halogen lamp, but that blew, so I did actually get an Exo Terra halogen lamp instead, and I'm giving that a little bit of a test out and I'll tell you how it goes. But that does seem to be doing a good job for now. So I don't know what you guys think about this, but I am pretty excited because now that I've actually got 2 females and a male, it means that next season I should hopefully get twice as many eggs as I was originally planning to get, which means twice as many hatchlings, so the breeding project should really get going next summer. And of course I have got the Chinese leopard snake breeding project going on next year, so I should have babies coming out my ears. But anyway, it sounds like it's going to be fun, and if you would like to stick around and see some of that, then leave this video a like, leave me a comment as well so that I know that you're thinking that, and do hit subscribe so that you never miss an upload. Once again, I thank you for watching this video. I've been JTB Reptiles, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys!